Hello everybody, and welcome to today's lesson on reading scientific texts. Today we're going to be learning a strategy that will help us to obtain the main ideas from our reading, to understand what they mean, and then later to remember them. You are going to be reading a lot of informational text as you move on in school. So this strategy will help you read the text one time and then have a resource in a notebook to review later. So during this presentation, I will be asking you to pause the video and then do something in your notebook. If I say pause the video, please pause the video and do what I ask. Okay, the goal for today. I can critically read scientific texts and determine central ideas. All right, I want you to go ahead and go to your goal sheet in your notebook, pause the video, and write this down. Write the date, goal number 1, the lesson goal, and then please rate yourself. So go ahead and pause the video now. Okay, welcome back. So this goal is about reading texts to obtain the central ideas. We need to know what ideas we need to walk away with and which information was just used to help us better understand them. Okay, well, what do we already know about this? Well, probably a lot. I want you to think about, in which class do you do the most informational reading? How do you obtain the main ideas and remember them? What strategies do you already use? It could be strategies done before reading, during reading, or after reading. Do you think it is important to be a skillful reader of nonfiction text? Why or why not? So at this point, I would like you to go to the first 2 blank pages in this unit, in your notebook. On the left side, which is the output side, we're going to get our lesson set up. You will put the date and the topic, reading scientific text. And then I would like you to write down your answers to these questions. Please pause the video until you have done this. Remember to answer these questions. Okay, thank you. Now that you have answered these questions in your notebook and given some thought to what you already know about using reading strategies, we're going to move on to new information. This is where we will learn the reading strategy that we are going to practice in class. Okay? If you click here, you will see a document that you can print out and put into your notebook. This document needs to be in your notebook by the next class. Also, if you click here, there will be an example of the reading strategy. So here are the steps to the reading strategy. Number 1. Read the section or chapter title. This is a big flag telling you what it is you're going to be reading about. 2. Read all headings in the section or chapter. Read all headings. Subchapter headings, paragraph headings, section headings. You can look at graphics, read captions, anything to prepare your brain for the different things that you might be learning. These are pre-reading strategies. In addition, you will identify and record, this means write down, the overall objectives of the chapter or the big questions that will be addressed in the section. What are the things that this section will be discussing? During reading, you will take notes, focusing on the objectives and the big questions that you listed. A good format for taking notes is Cornell Notes. We've been using Cornell Notes, where you make 2, like a T-chart, and on the left side are the concepts, objectives, or big questions, and on the right-hand side are your explanations. You will write down explanations from the text, and you will highlight them in yellow. You will write down any connections to yourself or your life, and you will write them in pink, highlight them in pink. And you will make connections to past units or other classes in green. You need at least 1 connection to yourself and the world and connection to past units, and obviously more explanations from the text. So you will have yellow, pink, and green highlighted information on the right-hand side of your Cornell notes. In the end, you will write a brief summary of your notes. Your summary must answer or address the big questions or objectives. Okay? So these are step 1, 2, and 3 are pre-reading. Step 4 is during reading. And step 5 is after reading. Okay, well, if I click on this document, it's also here in Moodle. Here is our unit. At the bottom, there is a section called Reading Scientific Text. Here is the presentation that you are watching. Here is the document of the reading strategy. And here is an example. Okay, so this is what the document looks like if you click on that. Here are the 5 steps, and here is an example of the graphic organizer that you will use to take notes in your notebook. Okay, if you click on Example, okay, you will see, again, that document, and down below an example. Here is the heading of the chapter. Here are the questions that this chapter will answer. What is matter? What are physical properties? What are proper physical changes, and how can you identify them? Down here are connections to these objectives or questions. Here's matter, physical property, physical change. See how these are connected to these. And on this side is where you will put your notes. You will highlight in yellow anything that was described in the text. You will highlight in pink connections to yourself. And then you will highlight in green connections to other things you have learned. Down below, after reading, you will write a summary. As you can see, you don't need to go back and read the entire section when you're studying or reviewing. You will just use this page to review and study. Excellent. So on the right side of your notebook, you will put this graphic organizer that you just saw here. Okay? We are going to create the graphic organizer and get ready to practice the strategy. So please pause the video and set this up in your notebook on the right side. Okay, welcome back. Now that we have this in our notebook, we can move to application. We are going to read pages 72 to 79 in our textbook, our physical science textbook. Yes, you need your textbook today. And then we're going to practice the reading strategy in our notebook. Here, on the graphic organizer that you created. Okay? This is due by the next class, along with having the document of the strategy in your notebook. Okay? Due by the next class. Please do your best and get the most out of this reading, as it's going to be the foundation to this unit. Remember, one of the things that we're working on is obtaining information by reading scientific texts. Okay. Good luck and enjoy your learning.